Hi champions, Miss Sutherland here. We're going to get started on our Tuesday lesson. For Tuesday, March 31st, for reading, our topic is character traits. So even if you haven't heard the word character traits, when I go through the definition, it might ring a bell. So character traits are words that describe a character based on their action, words, and feelings. So a lot of times these action, words, and feelings are used to describe someone either in a positive way or in a negative way. So let's look at this chart that I have, and let's see if some of these are ones you've heard of before. All right, the first part of the chart, I really like this chart because a lot of times students will use the words nice, mean, or sad. Those are pretty basic words, but there are other words that dig a little bit deeper. So take a look at some of the words under the nice column. So you could say friendly, encouraging, respectful, polite. So those are all different positive words for nice. Same thing for mean. Instead of saying mean, disrespectful, evil, selfish, spoiled. And then the same thing for sad, just using bigger words to describe this character. Unhappy, miserable, isolated, hopeless. Those are just some examples. They also give you positive words as well as negative words to describe a character. So you could have, and they're just the opposite of each other. So you have cooperative or uncooperative, calm or reactive, mature or immature, responsible, irresponsible. There's also this part that has confident and nervous. So again, it gives you synonyms that you can use for confident and nervous, but then it also gives you the opposite. So like brave compared to being concerned. Those are opposite words. If you're certain about something or you're fearful. The bottom part of this chart does the same thing. So it just gives you some better words that you can use. So instead of saying that someone does a lot, you could use these words here. They're busy, energetic, hardworking, or they do very little. They're lazy, sluggish, uninterested. And last but not least is this opposite one. So just in case you're like, well, I know the character is not funny. What's an opposite of funny? Maybe it's serious. Maybe it's boring. Okay, so I really liked this chart, so make sure you go back and use it. All right, here are some examples we're going to go over. So I'm going to describe a little situation to you. I'm not giving you lots of information, but we're going to talk about the character traits. So, number one, instead of getting started on his work right away, Joey stares out the window, drops his pencil on the floor, and asks his friend to pick it up. I'm saying this character is lazy. Let's look at some key clues that tell us that. Well, he stares out the window, drops his pencil, and then tells his friend to pick it up. Why can't he pick up the pencil himself? He also did not get started right away. Instead of getting started right away, I think Joey is lazy. Do you have any other words to describe Joey? Number two, even though Marcus knows the answer to his teacher's question, he doesn't raise his hand. Just based on what this sentence is telling me, I think the character is shy because he's not raising his hand even though he knows the answer. Does anyone else have a different character trait they would like to describe Marcus as? I'd like you to pause the video, try 3 and 4 on your own. I give you a character trait and I'd like you to find some evidence to back up your character trait. So go ahead and pause the video and try 3 and 4. All right, let's go over number 3. The character says, I want to play that game. If you don't play with me, I won't be your friend, and you can't play with anyone else. I said this character is bossy. Pretty much everything this character says, you can't play with anyone else? What? You're not the boss of me. Pretty much is telling that other person what to do. Did anyone else come up with a different character trait? And, oh, I won't be your friend. That's rude. So some of you may have put rude. Number 4, the character says, Miss Smith, Can I help pass out the papers? Also, would you like me to take the books back to the library? I said this character is helpful because they are asking, I'm assuming it's a teacher, if they can help do certain things. Did you come up with a different character trait for this person? Alright, now it's your turn. So I would like you to listen to my rotten red-headed older brother again on Storyline Online. It's always good to read or listen to something more than once because we're not looking for the same thing we were looking for yesterday. And I would like you to fill out this character trait chart as you listen. So let's look at the chart. You're going to pick a character. So in my rotten red-headed older brother, there's Richard. There's the sister, Trisha. There's Bubby, the grandma. You can do the grandpa, but I would just make sure he has enough of you have enough evidence to back it up. But those are the three main characters. Let me go over my example. You need to do, well, first you need to pick a character trait, so you can go back to that chart if you're stuck, and then evidence, how do you know? So what happened in the story? So this is my example. Richard was sneaky because Richard would always do something terrible to his sister when Bubby was not looking. So that's my evidence from the story. So I would like you to do 3 different character traits. You can do the same character 3 times, but I do challenge you, maybe try to do 1 for each character. Okay? So once again, listen to my rotten red-headed older brother, but today you're going to be looking for character traits. Okay, so take a look at that, and I will be excited to see what you have to share when we are on Zoom together. Message me on Dojo if you have any questions. Thanks, champions.